That was a fun night for basketball. Obviously to be able to showcase some of the best in the world on our court and to be able to go out and compete at that elite level. It was a lot of fun for our team, and I think our fans showed up and had a great night as well. We're obviously going to be pulling as hard as we can for this team once they get assembled and start representing us in the Olympics. And it's going to be a little bit more memorable for us to watch them in this upcoming Olympics.
Take questions. We'll start with Maria and then Cora.
Coach, I asked Tess this too. I know it's an odd question after 95 points by Team USA, but your defense was better than it was in your first exhibition game. Did you convey that message to them, or did you see that they were actually defending concepts and people better?
Yeah, we did. I thought our focus was better and our effort. I thought both. We were a little bit more locked in on the defensive end, and you'd like to think rise to the occasion. We did. We got better for this game, and I talked to them about that. I told them I liked what I saw, and I love the fact that we were communicating better, and like I said, each possession just really dialed in.
Okay, go with you.
Coach, I was particularly impressed with Edie's pace on the offensive end. It seemed like when she came in, everything moved faster, you got in your actions quicker. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the stat sheet. She led in plus minus. Is her presence something we're going to see regularly this season?
Yeah, we'll continue to evaluate each player on the team. We think Edie does a really good job. I think she runs the team well. If she gets an open shot, we think it's going in. I think she got two. I'll be honest with you, I thought both of them were going down. She's very smart. I think she understands her role and understands where the ball needs to go.
Rickea Jackson certainly looked very pro-ready tonight, led the whole game with scoring. But I felt like you could really feel just the way she started the game, how she kind of fueled the team's energy and that confidence. What effect do you feel like she had on that part when you guys started off so strong?
Well, I think Rickea being on the floor gives our entire team confidence. They look to her. They know, they believe in her. And I thought she played hard to start the game, and I think that gave everybody a little bit more confidence and when they're out there playing. And I was really proud of her. I thought she looked good.
Caleb and then Ryan.
Kind of to build on that, Coach, with Rickea, obviously got to meet some of the USA national team players this morning and then play against them. For a player with professional aspirations like Rickea, how important is that for her?
Well, I think for our players that want to play at the next level, whether that's WNBA or overseas, I think just the experience to visit, talk to, listen to this team, I think it was important. I think they also got a great lesson during the game. I mean, we talked in the locker room about what they saw, what their impressions were as they left the court. Those are pros. Those are pros. Pros make shots. Pros make plays. And they're really good at what they do. And I think that was great for all of our players to see that. And specifically asking about Rickea, I think it was a great opportunity for her to compete against them, but also listen to them and hear their stories.
Ryan and then Teresa.
Tamari had a pretty emphatic block there at the end. I'm sure you've seen that in practice since her return. What was it like seeing it on the floor in front of fans against the competition?
Yeah, she and I were talking. I was trying to get her matched up with Brittany Griner and couldn't get it. Couldn't get many minutes against each other until that fourth quarter, and then I let her play a little bit longer than I thought. And she and I were laughing about it at the end of the game, but we're just trying to find minutes for her, and she made that block and made that shot there at the end. So it was good to see. We've seen those plays, but I think you're right. Being able to make those plays in a game is good for her growth back.
Bruce.
Kelly, two things, two-part question. The reception that Brittany got, there's been so much stuff that she had to go through over the last year and a half or so. To get that roar here, does that just maybe show the depth that the basketball fans have for the quality of player that she is?
Well, I think I was very proud of our fans and the reception that they gave all the players. You know, our fans don't forget very much, so I know they knew where those players played in college. They understood, but our fans gave them all the reception they deserved. And Brittany obviously got a big ovation. I think the people know her story and people know her. I actually talked to people that said they were coming specifically to see her and to watch her play, and they had become fans throughout her challenges in the last year or so. And I was really happy for that team to feel that from our fans.
Now to switch, Diana at 41, still playing and still now trying to go for yet another Olympic gold medal, and she's still playing well. How much does this help? How surprising is it to you to see her do this? And then how much does it help female athletes extend their careers? I mean, she's almost like Tom Brady in the way for women's basketball.
Oh, she's unbelievable. And I'm doing the math and realizing that it's not that many. I'm not that many years older than her, but I couldn't do what she's doing. Obviously, she is the ultimate pro, and it's impressive. She is savvy. She gets it. She's a great leader. She spoke to our team today, and it was wise. So I'm so impressed with who she is, how she handles herself, how she carries herself. And I'll be honest with you, she visited with us at practice, and it was great. It was cordial. She hugged me. Everything was great. And I walked out on the court before warm-ups, and just my eyes, I locked in on her, and I said, "Oh no!" You could just see she was on go. And I was like, "Oh, this could be interesting," because she just flipped that switch. I mean, she was great in practice, cordial in practice, and I thought she was going to tear us apart if she could, in warm-ups. But that's how competitive she is. Nothing but great things to say about her.
Cora?
Obviously, your post players had pretty big challenges tonight, but I thought Caroline had some really good moments defensively. Might not show on the stat sheet, but I thought Jillian looked really good on offense when she was attacking and being aggressive. What did you like about the effort that they showed tonight and what they were able to do?
Yeah, I thought, again, I was proud of our team. I thought they competed, and where we were maybe outmatched, I thought we kept trying, and thought we showed some good things. I thought they showed some physicality. Our post players did. I thought you're right. We showed some aggressiveness and some versatility. So I like where they were in terms of what they did tonight, and hopefully we can build on that.
Casey?
Coming into this matchup, you mentioned how you wanted this team to not back down and to hold their own. How do you feel they lived up to that expectation?
I thought they did. I thought our team competed. That's the one thing I kept talking about with them: go out and compete, go out and compete, go out and compete. And I thought they did, and really proud of them for that. I thought their focus was good. I thought they were positive, and I like the demeanor. Obviously it wasn't always pretty for us, but just I think we're walking away from this feeling like it was a good night. We had some good things.
Coach, you got outran in transition 34-6. In this type of game, is that a matter of just unparalleled conditioning, or is it just being an exhibition match?
I think the majority of that was turnovers. So I think it was 24 points off turnovers. So I think the majority of it wasn't like a lack of conditioning or a lack of awareness. The majority of it was turning it over, and then they're moving the ball quickly in transition. We did have a few breakdowns, but that was a smaller number.
Go next to Maria, and then Jack and Paige.
Coach, you've got a loaded week, obviously. Now the score counts. Just how ready do you think your team is for the debut Tuesday, and then you've got to get right on the road and go to Florida State?
Yeah, well, we started, as you can probably tell, in the fourth quarter, we started managing minutes a little bit. Obviously, this is a long stretch for us. We were actually off yesterday to shorten the stretch as much as possible. I think we'll try to build off of this. We'll try to get better at some things. We now will have to start handling scouting reports, which we've not had yet. We'll start handling the scouting reports, and we've got to be able to turn those around pretty quickly this week. So I think our players are ready for games. Coaches, we always want more practices, but it's time. It's time to play and figure out where we're at.
Jack?
What do you think it's going to be like to welcome Coach Gordon back to Tennessee where she played?
Oh, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be fun to have her back. She'll also get a big ovation when she comes back into Thompson Bowling Arena. Not only was Bridget a tremendous player here, obviously she coached here. She's just a big personality and just such a likable person. And it'll be fun to welcome her home.
Paige?
You talked about like some of the lessons you all had learned. Was one of those wrinkles or things you learned like how fast they played and how quickly the team needed to process the offense and defense, and how will that translate to the season?
Yes, that when I asked the players some of the things that they had learned, what they had taken away, and one of them was how fast they play the game. And that's not how fast they are, it's how fast they play the game, how fast they react, how fast they read the offense or the defense and know what to do. They're fun to watch.
Cora?
Your team faced some pretty high ball pressure tonight, extending way beyond their perimeter. A lot of players handled it well for the most part. Third quarter, it started to kind of disrupt you guys, but how did you see your players handle that, and what can they take from facing a defense like this?
Well, obviously it was high pressure, high intensity, and it was consistent. It was solid. Didn't let up. There wasn't a lot of pressure release opportunities. And our team is I think we learned tonight that we have to be able to handle those moments better. I think we'll, as a staff, give them some things to work with that are going to give them some pressure releases in those situations moving forward. But for the most part, we had a few moments that we just had breakdowns, right? I think second quarter, and then in the third quarter, there's some stretches that didn't go well, but that was a lot of duress for our players that we just can't simulate in practice. There's just no way we can simulate that. So for them to go out there and really handle it and deal with it for about 40 minutes and do a pretty good job with it, I was proud of them.
All right, we'll close it out. Maria?
Coach, I know you haven't had much time to take a deep dive into the Rattlers. I love that mascot, by the way. But what are the challenges that you will see? Bridget Gordon was a tough player. I would expect her teams to play tough. What are the challenges in this opener for Tennessee?
I think the first challenge is, although I mentioned that we've got to turn around the scouting report, we'll be a little bit limited on the scouting report because she is a new head coach. You don't know from what system she's going to pull her offensive or defensive schemes. They have a lot of new players on their team, so in terms of being able to pull film for personnel purposes, we'll be a little bit limited there. So our team has to be really flexible. We have to be able to adjust on the fly, we've got to be prepared for anything on Tuesday. So I think that alone is going to be one of the biggest challenges. And then you have that game sandwiched between Team USA and then Florida State, and you don't want to overlook somebody in the middle of that. I don't think we will. It's the first real game of the season. I don't think we'll overlook somebody, but the way that it's built out, it falls right in the middle of those two big games, and I think sometimes that's human nature to do that. So I think one of the challenges that we'll have as a staff is to make sure we're locked in. Like I said, I feel good about it, but we have to make sure.
All right. Thank you very much.